recording.
Okay. Yeah. So tell us your name, where you're from.
So we're just gonna say my name is Eli. So it's kind of a pseudonym and something that I was given to me in the Marine Corps, and I just go with Eli.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Like out the alphabet.
And where are you from?
Originally from Aurora. I moved to Southern Illinois around 5th grade, and then I joined the military out of high school, and I came back after 12 years of the Marine Corps, and I've been in Southern Illinois ever since.
Okay. So what got you started in martial arts?
So in the Marine Corps, just in boot camp, you have to get your basic belt to graduate boot camp. And from there, that was kind of my introduction into martial arts. From there, I went as high as I could in the Marine Corps martial arts, and I was teaching people. I was in charge of a lot of Marines to teach them the Marine Corps martial arts program, and there were high school wrestlers or fighters or just natural born athletes that were coming in and giving me a very tough time, like a good challenge. So I was like, I need to do something else. Like, this shouldn't be happening if I'm, their lives are in my hands. So I went out and I started competition jiu-jitsu, or I guess you'd say ranked jiu-jitsu at Gracie Baja in Carlsbad, California, right around 2013.
Okay. Okay. So how'd you do competing?
I competed. So like we were talking about the first tournament I was ever in. I've medaled in every tournament I've ever been in. I've been in at, I'd say under 20, but more than 15 tournaments. The first tournament I was in, it was kind of reward-based, money as well as gear, kind of like the tournament we just had.
Yeah, okay, cool. So how'd that translate going back into the military? You start having an easier time with these guys? Or?
Yeah, and kind of where this conversation is going to go, the interview is going to go, is coaching. Like that's where I was in the Marine Corps. I was training these guys at the highest level, so it wasn't just basic boot camp Marine. This was like I was it. Like I was the guy to go to in my area for martial arts training in the Marine Corps, and it gradually got better, but it helped with coaching a lot. I picked up on a lot more details, and I knew a lot more than basic, just the curriculum that the Marine Corps martial arts program provided.
Okay. And so that's how you really got into the coaching, was teaching it there?
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah.
So in the Marine Corps, we have acronyms for everything, and we have to go by the book. This is how you teach a class, and this is what you do.
Okay, all right. So when did you get into like cornering and MMA? When was your first time?
So I had some competitive, I would say, MMA fights. They were not sanctioned. They were in the military. We do like unit versus unit, stuff like that. So I've had quite a few MMA fights, and we were just unit based, and we kind of just helped each other out. It's kind of like when you guys went to Iowa this weekend, very similar to that. So we say meet up and like, hey, there's going to be an MMA tournament here. If there's someone there your weight and you want to fight them, you can fight them. So that's kind of how it went. So we just go to other units and like, okay, here's a recon. They're having a recon tournament. Let's go over there and see what we got.
So you guys just kind of coach each other throughout doing that.
Exactly. Okay. And the coaching, like also the teaching of the Marine Corps. Yep.
Yeah, you're right. So what belt are you now?
In jiu-jitsu, in Marine Corps martial arts, I was a black belt. In jiu-jitsu, I am a 4-stripe purple belt under Andy Sabins.
Okay. You got any competitions coming up?
I don't. Injuries and age and cardio, stuff like that. So I don't have any motivation, which would be nice to have something. I am getting older. I turned 40 in September, so I would like to maybe fight again. Maybe jiu-jitsu is always going to be there. I would like to do something sometime soon, get some motivation to get back in shape, and just something to look forward to.
You got a good group around you if you want to do that.
I know. I'd love to. And I'm a firm believer. I'm old school like that. I believe that no one should be promoted unless it's on a podium. Yeah, that's old school. I've told Andy that many times. I'm 4-stripe purple belt for pretty close to a year now. I was like, do not promote me. I don't want. I want Mark Zuckerberg at purple belt. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going for.
Right. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Are there any techniques that you learned like in the beginning that you still carry with you today?
Yeah, so in the Marine Corps, a lot of the martial arts is very basic and it's redundant. It's drill, muscle memory. So a lot of that, the basic stuff that they do there, like wrist locks, head and arm chokes, guillotines, triangles, a lot of that basic stuff, it's always there. It's just getting to it that's transitioned through my experience training.
So setting it up, timing,
Exactly.
things like that.
Sweeps,
You start learning.
stuff like that. You always pick that up. A Kimura is still a Kimura. A rear naked choke still a rear naked choke. You know what I mean? A wrist lock still a wrist lock. It doesn't matter whether you learn it the first day or you've been training for 30 years. It's still the same submission. It's how you get there. So.
Well, yeah, that makes sense because it's kind of like what you were showing me tonight with the different sweeps was when they put their weight here, when they posture here, or pull them here to get them to do that.
Exactly.
So that makes sense. Now it's stuff that I wasn't picking up on.
Yeah, and that it honestly just comes with time and experience. Once you're comfortable, like you can predict kind of movements and what people are going to do, what habits people have. Whenever you get in those positions, you can start picking up on other things like, okay, well, would I be able to do this? Because you're comfortable, like, okay, you can grab my arm, I'm defending it. Now maybe I can get an underhook and take the back, or I can do something else with that because you get comfortable with time.
Right. Cool. So, how old did you say you were? 40. Okay. And so what keeps
great.
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds like you've done a lot with martial arts and doing it in the military and competing and coaching and stuff. So what motivates you to keep doing it?
Oh, for me now, it's just honestly, it's a way of life. If I eat pizza, if I go to McDonald's, like my daughter's 12 years old, and she's probably had McDonald's for me 0 times her whole life.
Yeah.
We don't eat fast food. Like it's a way of life for me. Like if I eat like shit, if I drink, if I go do something, I know it's going to affect me. Whether the next day training or I'm training in one way or another every single day. You know what I mean? And for me, it's just a way of life. Another big thing, like military members, we suffer from mental health a lot. Men in general, we suffer from mental health, and we don't really have that many outlets. So MMA has been a huge outlet for me, especially jiu-jitsu, and it's honestly therapy.
Yeah. Okay. So
and I strive for it.
Yeah. What ways do you think that it helps your mental health?
This is great. So I don't know who said this, but I tell people this a lot because a lot of people, they think, oh, these sweaty guys just rolling around on the mats, or that's gay, or you get all kinds of misconceptions nowadays. But for me, I break it down like this. If I am on the mats and I'm thinking about, oh, I got that bill to pay, or I have to pick my daughter up from school, or I got to do this, or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna lose. Like I have to be focused on that. If I'm out for a run or lifting weights or doing anything else that I've done, I'm stressed. My mind's always OCD, like ADD, like always all over the place. When I'm on the mats, that's like I'm calm. I'm just like at home. Like that's what I'm there to focus on, and I can't focus on anything else. And it clears my mind and it helps.
Yeah. So it's a mindfulness, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So honestly, my first time training, that's what I noticed. I trained for 2 hours, and it's like, man, I didn't pick up my phone once. I didn't wonder who was texting me, if I was getting a notification. I didn't think about any of that. I was just training with the guys.
And you're learning, and like we were talking about earlier, like I think it was you, the group of people that you can connect with, whether it's cops or doctors or, UPS drivers or motorcycle people, whatever, you bring like that culture, like that community together, and it's like, it doesn't matter. Like you're there to make each other better. Yeah. And it's like almost like the military, like a brotherhood. Like, it's all you bleed and sweat and you train and you try to get better every day. And like I've gone out of my way to help more people in jiu-jitsu than I ever have of my family. So
yeah. No, yeah, I get that. The community aspect's been big for me because I've done some of those other things too, like ultra running and lifting and stuff. And it's nice, but you're by yourself, and it's kind of a one-track thing. I feel like with jiu-jitsu, it's just infinite, and you're learning so much. And the people that you're around, people are willing to teach you and help you. I've never seen a community that's so supportive.
Absolutely.
And it's, like meeting Elias with Foundation Chicago. I mean, he's always doing stuff in the community. He's inspired us to start doing that. I mean, we've been donating clothes, through the winter. We've done some stuff for homeless veterans, like buying Christmas gifts for kids. It's like, it's a very giving group of people.
And a correlation with that, I'm active in a local Elks. We do the same exact stuff, so I'm very familiar. And it's awesome that you guys have this going on and you're helping out, and like it really sets the bar high. And it's awesome not just for the jiu-jitsu community or local people, or it's just everyone. Like doing the interviews and getting the word out there, or just anything. It's
okay. So let's segue from the communal view and all that into the importance of the role of a cornerman, or not beyond a coach, but a cornerman is still a coach within that moment, right? Of the moment of the fight. to where everything's not a competition in the sense of when we get to that point where we can't compete no more, whether it be age, cardio, whatever, how can we still play an active and vital role in the community of what we've built? How can we still serve a purpose to our fellow, comrades or whatever in this whole thing? So speak to the importance that you have found as your motivation as a cornerman, because you do corner a lot of fights and your crews, people that you roll with and both in life and on the mats. Why do you find it valuable? What is the revelation that you hold with that, and how you're serving one another still just doing that zone? So go with that.
All right. So I started getting into cornermen, cornering fighters and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't remember who the first person was. It might have been CJ that I was talking about, or that fight up in Iowa. I'm not sure who I cornered or who I helped out, but I feel like I have a lot of experience, and the longer you're with a stable gym, like I'm not just going to go into 413, another local gym, and corner some guy. Like, you know what I mean? They want to know my criteria. They want to know what I'm capable of, that kind of stuff. I feel like cornering someone, it's like, cornering's so weird. Sometimes you have the experience to help this person out, but not maybe the capabilities. You know what I mean? Like I could tell someone like, hey, do this combo and it's gonna set this up and do this. I might not be able to go out there and do that, but I know they're capable of it, and I want to boost their confidence and let them know that it's available.
Yeah.
And from there, going to the corners, I always feel like, I don't know, thinking about it, I've never really thought about it this way. I think cornering someone or helping them in a competition, not just on the mats, just like actually going to them, like I cornered the fights this weekend, it's almost like going to war, you know what I mean? And they're my brothers, and I want to help them provide, whether it's communication support, ammo support, whatever it is. They're in the fight, and I'm just supporting them. I'm helping them out by any means, what I can do. Whether it's give them water, whether it's massage their back, whatever makes them comfortable and confident in whatever they want to do. And each fighter is different, so that's something that you got to know, and something that you're probably gonna, learn throughout. Almost, for me, like Zach and Tave and those guys, they're like family to me. Like I would do seriously anything for them. Like I don't get paid to go corner them, or travel or any of this stuff. Like I pay to corner. Like you have to have a license. And I just, they're just important to me, and I want to help them succeed in any way that I
can. How important would you say then, because it sounds like it is, but so how important would you say that relationships almost need to be there to be an effective cornerman?
Yeah, so there's,
most effective?
So there's coaching, and then there's cornermen. Like a lot of coaches from big gyms and stuff like that, you won't see Greg Jackson come to a jiu-jitsu tournament here in St. Louis. You won't see him come to these little local fights like that. There's coaches, the big fighters and stuff like that, they can go do that. They're going to make their money, they're going to do that kind of stuff. So for me, like, I have no, I don't even know. I don't get anything from going and helping these fighters other than me knowing that I'm helping them. Like, for me, it's so beneficial to me. Like, when you're in there and you help someone win something that could be the highlight of their life, it's a great experience. When you're in there taking the after photo or getting their hand raised or stuff like that, and the first person to congratulate them, like it's almost as good as seeing like one of your kids succeed. You know what I mean? It's like your little brother or something like that. Like it's just a great feeling, and I want them to experience that as much as possible, and I hope that I can help them. In any way, in any shape or fashion, and anyone that I can encounter. Like you guys right now, if you ever wanted to go, you're like, hey, you can help me out. I would love to. Like, as long as, it permits with scheduling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's wiser, better, or not? How you said, like, we have the capabilities to help somebody, like maybe I can't do that, but if you do this, it opens up this, that, and the other. Do you think there's anything to, knowing the other person, like the person you're coaching or cornering, knowing their style, knowing their game, knowing how, like, to where you're cornering their game and not trying to roll like you would roll, but helping them roll like they roll? Absolutely. To be effective?
There's a lot of, martial arts is my life. Like I'm always watching. Anytime there's UFC or a Bellator or IBJJ, well maybe not IBJJ, but like ADCC, like the big jiu-jitsu tournaments, a one, stuff like that. I try to watch those as much as possible. If there's nothing on, maybe I'll watch their old fights or something like that. And there's so many fighters that think of it this way. I am not going to study someone else because I know what I'm capable of. I'm not going to change my style of fighting for this person. I should be so good at what I do, it doesn't matter what he does. Like if I have to go off of him, then I'm not prepared.
Sure.
Maybe I shouldn't take this fight. So that's important because like I know what Kyle's good at. Or you know, if we start training and we're in that position where I can coach him and stuff, or I see him in a match, I see what this other person's good at, but I know like this is open or whatever the case may be. I can help him like, okay, his butterfly is really good. So I was like, hey, set this up or do that and play this. And we can do that for much preparation. You know,
so coaching out of
before even getting to the fight.
Yeah, so coaching out of his toolbox more so than yours.
Exactly, because
as
I don't
cornerman,
care what any of those guys do. When I
cool.
coach anyone, I never look at their corner.
Yeah.
I never look at what their fighter is capable of.
Yeah.
Maybe you know if they're like, "What do you think about this?" I'll watch it, but I focus on what there are. Look, this combo's open. When I'm in the corner, I'm yelling stuff. I'm on the sideline of a jiu-jitsu match. Hey, his half guard's open. Pass. You know, whatever it is. Like I'm there. I know what they're capable of, what they like. So if if you like playing side control, I'm going to get you to side control. That.
No, it's because this last weekend up in Iowa, that was something that I had noticed. The coaching from the crews and stuff, where it was like it's crucial, like that. I didn't realize it, but it was crucial, like how you sound.
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
You're like if you sound panicked, that's going to make me feel panicked. Mm-hmm. If you sound calm, cool, collected, like hey, do this, do that. Don't make me sound like I'm losing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It registers different when you're hearing those instructions.
So having a good coach from or cornerman, and what I've noticed in my few competitions that I've done, it's a superpower.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because there's so much that I don't see out there that when the guys start talking to me, I just do it and then it works.
Yeah, and that's super important too because you'll get like if you start going to bigger tournaments like IBJJ and stuff like that. You're going to have these Brazilian coaches speaking different languages. Mm-hmm. So sometimes opponents, they'll listen to the other person's coach, like, okay, he's going to throw a leg kick. Okay, he's going to try to set this up, and they'll feed off of that. You know what I mean? So you want that. But at the same time, you need to know your fighter. If I know that Kyle's going to be lazy and he's losing on points, I need to let him know he's losing and panic him a little bit, or whatever the case may be. Right. You know, like Zach won this fight this last weekend. He got his opponent down, and he was on top, and he started punching him, and I said 10 seconds. I didn't know at the time. I come find out he had 45 seconds left. He punched him out in 10 seconds. What, in 10 seconds? The round's over. Right. He won with 30 seconds left. See what I'm saying? Right. Like, just think like 10 seconds, like, just let him know. Like, oh shit, I need to change my mind. I can't get comfortable here. Mm-hmm. So there's a time and place, and it's kind of like you dictate. Like, it all goes back into the Marine Corps, because I feel like the Marine Corps really... evolved me almost. I have to train 18-year-old, 20-year-old men to do whatever I tell them, because if they hesitate in combat, I could die, or they could die. So I have to learn how to get through every single one of them. Some people, you have to physically fuck up for them to get to learn. Other people, you can say, I'm disappointed in you, and that's kind of how it is. You have to know the person, and then it's, I don't know, it just comes with time. You kind of learn how to read people.
Right, time's experience.
No, that's a crucial role in the whole entire environment of it all, man.
It really is, and it's something I didn't even consider before I started doing all this stuff.
And it's surprising. You'll see some people like go to these events and stuff with no coaching, and for me, it's like it's so sad. Like I just want to go and be like, "Hey, I got you." You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't even know the guy. It's just like I don't know. It really does matter, and whether it's just for moral support or for confidence, or using a technique that works and winning that way. So it's awesome. I know I greatly appreciate it, and I know other people do too.
Yeah, it's been a good community for me as well. Well, Eli, we appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Thank you for everything.